We will now look at the position of tight ends and kickers as far as it goes related to fantasy football. First, tight ends, and these guys can get you some points. If you got a good tight end, it might be the difference between you winning and losing, quite honestly. You're banking on a guy who was actually hurt last year, right?
Yeah, Finley. I had him early. He was Aaron Rodgers' favorite target early in the season. They only got to play a few games together, I think 5, before he got hurt. But he is a freak of nature. Very athletic, can get up and out jump D-backs because he's so big, and I think he's an up and coming guy if he can stay healthy.
Is it fair to say tight ends are those guys that are fantasy football tight ends that are really good at those guys who are more receiver types than blocking types?
Yeah, often, yeah, definitely. The more athletic guys are the guys. Antonio Gates started that just a few years ago, and Tony Gonzalez was one of those ex-basketball players, athletic guys that can go up basically like they're going up for rebounds and grab passes.
I see you had Vernon Davis on that. He didn't do particularly well tonight, but again, it's preseason and pretty much who cares. What do you think the kid from the Saints, I think in the future he's going to be one that's going to be on the board. How close was he maybe to being way up on your board?
He was actually close to being my sleeper, and the reason why I did not choose him as my sleeper is because Drew Brees just spreads the ball around so much that he may not get as many receptions as some of these other guys would get. My sleeper is a guy by the name of Jared Cook, who's a very athletic tight end who started a few games at the end of the season last year for the Titans, and now that depending on how Hasselbeck plays, if he plays well, this might be a guy that he latches on to. They don't have great receivers down there, so it might be somebody that he ends up throwing the ball to. That's what I'm betting on. And once again, sleeper meaning. Don't think this is
not. We put you top 3. Please don't think that that's the 4th guy in line.
Yeah, you got a spot. It's late in the draft. You're reaching for a name. Anybody who's been in a fantasy draft at the end, you don't know if you scratched all the right guys out. And that might be a guy you want to pick up and see how it goes.
If we can, let's look at the kickers board. And you were mentioning at the break, if there's anything that's a crapshoot, it's probably the kickers, right?
There is nothing. I'm going to tell you right now, it's the last 2 things I pick on my team. Typically, I look at high-scoring offenses or dome kickers. That if you got a high-scoring offense with a dome kicker, then obviously they're that much better, which is why Hartley's number 2. Kading's being really consistent, and that's why he's my number 1. And then number 3, Crosby, very consistent, and another high-scoring team. My sleeper actually has been touted as the best kicker ever in college football. He's a rookie. He's going to take David Akers' place, the guy who kicked the 59-yarder from San Francisco.
I wonder what the people in Philadelphia are thinking now. Well, we got this Alex Henry, but David Akers, who we knew was a good kicker.
Probably a Hall of Famer.
Probably a Hall of Famer, kicks a 59-yarder against the Saints tonight.
But Alex Henry was very, very consistent in college at Nebraska, in a place where it's kind of hard to kick. It's not like he was kicking in San Diego or down in the South somewhere down here. So windy, bad conditions, and I forget what his overall percentage was, but it was really good. And so, they drafted him in the 4th round, I think. So they wasted a 4th round, not wasted, but they used a 4th round draft pick on a kicker, which doesn't happen very often. So they think highly of him, and I think he's going to put up some points this year.
Very good. Got to take another commercial break. We're going to look at team defenses. All fantasy leagues have a team defense. That's a best all-around defense. And we're going to look at a situation where if you're picking in your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there at the top of your draft, what's the best player to go for? Not position-wise, what's the best player? We'll do that when we get back from this break.